and welcome to this week's episode of Whimsy with a Z. I'm your host, Ben, and this week we have two Z's with us. We have Alice and Dean. Hello.
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 This is your two's first time meeting each other, technically, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. We skipped Dean last month because it is what it is, whatever. No, we didn't really have anything specifically we wanted to talk about. Alice, a lot of fun with you last month, and we're going to record you separately later in the week or next week, so we can deep dive on you. But today, I asked Alice to kind of hang out with Dean and I and mix it up a little bit, kind of add some variety to the show. But I've gotten some feedback from some parents and some of the people on the socials and stuff. And I would be curious to, so today's topic is college, preparing for college, anything like in the prep for college type thing. So I think that's why Alice is here, because I don't remember. I didn't even go to college right after high school. So, and I know that Alice is looking into some stuff. We'll start off with Dean. Like, are you interested and curious about what? Are you curious about what you're? Oh man, where am I at? Are you already thinking about college?
It's something that I'm not thinking about like too much, like deeply, like what college I'm gonna go to or like the major kind of, but I do know that in the future that I do want to go.
And then Alice, you can jump in whenever you want. Like, this is gonna be real like open forum. When did you, Alice, start thinking about like post high school? Like, was it earlier, freshman, sophomore, or was it more like junior, senior?
You know, that's a good question. I think I want to say it was more like junior year, because I feel like junior year and senior year, obviously those 2 years are like the main ones that you really want to start thinking about stuff for after high school, because
Right, because you're literally almost on your way out.
Yeah,
you're closer to out than you were in. Have either of your guys' parents have any planning post high school?
What was the question?
Do either of your parents have any kind of like post high school schooling? Like, did they ever go to college?
I think my dad went to a culinary school, but he didn't finish it.
College for my parents, I know that my dad didn't go. I think my mom went, but she had to quit because that's when my grandma died. So I think that's when she left.
Are these college ideas and conversations, are you having them with your parents now at all?
A little bit. Again, I'm not too focused on it right now because I'm just trying to focus more on like what's in front of me right now. But I mean, once in a while it's brought up. I mean, they don't really, I guess how do I explain it? They don't really have like an experience with college. Well, I mean, my mom was there, but it wasn't like for too long, So I don't know. It's kind of difficult to talk to them about like college and stuff like that, but it's something that is like kind of brought up, just not as often.
Okay. Alice is just moving around all over the place, like.
I'm trying to get my computer. I'm trying to get the computer situated in like a right spot because I feel like it looks like Jesus is coming out behind me.
It just looked like a horror movie for a second, like you're running.
My bad.
So what about you? You talking to your mom about your post high school career?
Well, yeah, kinda. Cause I've already thought about a lot, like, cause there's so much. I don't know. There's so much that I could probably do, you know, and that I'm actually interested in because I want to do something that I like and take interest in rather than doing something that I hate, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely something that I need to think about since I have less than 2 months before I graduate.
That's crazy. I can't believe how fast it's coming up.
Yeah.
Alice, looking backwards, would you change the way that you view your college prep? Like, would you like give advice for Dean? Dean is a freshman, so he's 3 years behind you. What kind of advice do you have for Dean, knowing that you're 2 months away? When we're doing this podcast 3 years from now, Dean's not you. What kind of advice do you have for Dean?
If people are offering you help, definitely, for sure, take it. Because me, for example, there's a lot of people and like teachers and counselors and stuff like that are telling me like, oh, you could do this, you could do that. There's scholarships, you can apply here, and yada yada. And then there's like people that they can help you with applying and stuff like that. If you feel if you have the slightest bit of feeling that maybe you need a bit of help, take it. Take it, absolutely.
So you have like these counselors and people offering help. What kind of help are they offering?
Well, I'm assuming teachers and counselors and stuff like that, they'll send you, like, they'll tell you about all kinds of different scholarships and stuff like that. They can even send you links for ones that you can apply to if you're trying to get into college and stuff like that, or even trade school, or
Mm-hmm.
And then also they can help you with applying to schools and stuff like that. And then also for financial aid, they'll help you if you ask or if they offer, and you go ahead and you're like, hey, so you're offering help, I'm gonna need that,
Yeah.
Is anybody offering? Are any people in school starting those conversations as a freshman?
Like kids in my class, no.
Anybody in the teacher or counselors?
I've been having a couple classes. It's like a monthly thing about about college and stuff like that, and like how you can or like what colleges are looking for, kind of. Not really like any resources and like scholarships or for like applying to one, but it's kind of like the basics of it.
Mm-hmm. And are you taking advantage of any of those things?
I haven't been paying attention this whole year, so not really.
It's your freshman year. You'll be all right. It's not like it's freshman year. It's not like super like, oh, like you gotta start being all scared about it now.
Is it, Alice, do you wish you would have thought like your freshman year, sophomore year, at least entertained the idea of like preparing for college or anything after high school? Do you feel like you wasted your freshman, sophomore year kind of just like that's next year's problem. And then you get to a point where you're like, I'm out in 2 months.
Sophomore year, yes, but freshman year, not necessarily, because it was my freshman year, and then also I was coming out of being in quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I think technically the first like freshman actually going into like in-person learning and stuff like that after being on the computer, which was terrible for me. So having to come back and being around people again, that was something that I had to adjust to. So I did struggle my freshman year, which I'm not too happy about. But sophomore year, I feel like I could have started thinking about those sort of things, you know?
Like you don't have to put anything in place as far as like I need to decide. You don't have to make any decisions, but maybe keep it in the back of your minds that when you're taking classes and you're signing up for your electives, that you have a little bit of forward thinking to be like, maybe I won't take this easy class. Maybe I'll take maybe this different. Are there classes that you took your sophomore year that you wish you didn't take and would have taken something else?
Sophomore year, I did coding.
Like computer coding?
Yeah. Sophomore, I did it because my freshman year I went to a different school. And then these past couple of years since sophomore year, I've been at this one school. And my sophomore year and junior year, I did coding, which I'm not gonna do in the future. It was pointless. It was useless for me.
Do you remember any of it?
Barely.
I'm sorry.
Like just the little basic stuff.
Why did you take coding?
Because my sophomore year is when I moved in with my dad, and we were getting me transferred to the school that I'm at now. And we were looking at the classes and electives and stuff like that for me to take, and he saw coding. And at the time, I was kind of talking about how, like, that I found, like, computer stuff and stuff like that cool. I found it interesting. And he ran with it. So he was like, oh, there's a coding class. There's a digital communications. Digital media, whatever. Like, I was like, oh, okay.
That's so funny. Dean, are you considering going back to in-person school next year?
I actually had a talk to my mom yesterday about it. It's something that I'm like kind of on the fence about because I mean, both online and in-person school, has like its pros and cons. And I think with going to like in-person school, specifically the one that I want to go to, it's going to be like pretty difficult to like even get there, if that makes sense. I don't know. The just the way that my schedule has been like changing recently, it's something that really wouldn't like fit, or if it did fit, it would come in like really tight. But I mean, if I do go back, I'm not sure right now, but if I do go back, I don't know. I think if I do go back, I would try to take as many opportunities as I possibly can with like, classes and stuff like that and really get that experience too. Because again, I went online school. It's completely different from what Alice is used to or all the other people on this podcast because they do go to in person. So.
Like not to come, Alice, do you think you would be more or less prepared leaving high school if you were all online? Like, I'm not trying to like poke fun and saying online is not the right way to go. I'm just curious on your opinion, having done the 4 years of in person. What kind of change? What do you think would be different if you were like all online?
All online? It would be worse.
Why?
because from the little time that I was online, it was horrible for me. I personally, I couldn't do online. I needed to actually be in the classroom, like sitting in front of the teacher's face while they're speaking to me, so I could write stuff down, and
You need that engagement
yes,
aspect to it.
that's what I needed. And I couldn't get that while being on the computer. And like for me, my classes and stuff like that for on the computer, they were all messed up. I had like 2 science classes, as a matter of fact, and I had no social studies either. And then with the teachers that I had, they weren't exactly, I don't know. They also couldn't figure out being online as well. So with them not being able to know how to work it, I couldn't figure out how to do my work and how to properly learn.
Because I'm curious to see how, because online was never an option when I was going to school. So I'm always kind of curious. And again, Dean, it's nothing to suggest that online is the wrong way to go. I definitely think there's some benefits because I know that you're still thriving grade wise. Yes, in school.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, grades help you get into a college. So, like, there's obviously that benefit of it. But it is kind of curious to see the two differences. Because I'm curious to see if you do make that transition back over to in person. Because if you don't, it makes it harder to go back your junior year because now you're 2 years removed from those relationships that everybody else has built over those 2 years. So it's interesting. I'm curious. Both of you, are you guys doing anything in the extracurriculars? And do you pick an extracurricular that you think would help look good on the res? Like, what are your motives for picking any kind of extracurriculars? Or, yeah, let's start with that question. Are you doing any extracurriculars?
No.
You're not volunteering anywhere. You're not donating some time to the cheer club or prep squad. I don't even know what the hell that was. Like, decorate the.
One of my classes is yearbook, so which is the yearbook club. So I mean, I don't know if that really counts because it's one of my classes.
100% FYI, you put that stuff right on your college application. You don't have to say that it was a class. You just say I was part of yearbook, and that's all you need.
Right.
100%. Dean, do you have opportunities to do any kind of extracurricular activities, any clubs or a yearbook, for example?
Like in clubs and stuff like that from my school, I'm gonna be completely honest, it's pretty dry when it comes to that.
Okay.
I mean, if we're talking outside of school, I mean, I'd be down.
Okay.
To like do stuff like that. I don't know if that counts, but just at my school, it's like pretty dry whenever it comes to like activities and stuff like that because my school is kind of based around the whole entire state, so it's kind of hard to really like organize events or anything like that, even online to just organize events around the city.
I have very little advice, but the one that I have is you 100% put that you worked on the yearbook and that you 100% did a podcast talking about kids. It only in that when you fill out these like applications and stuff, you want to, like, in theory, you want to be able to like show and be able to fill in some of those blanks. Like, you don't want to turn in an application and it's like you do anything, it's like everything's blank.
No, yeah.
And then podcast, I think, stands at 100%. I think it stands out a little bit where they're like, that's different and interesting. And then it's one of those things where if it catches their eye, you hope that like maybe someone asks you about it, so that way you can kind of go deep dive on it a little bit more. But so that's one of my pieces of advice is definitely, like Dean, I know that you used to do stuff with things with the church, right? So like if there's any kind of charity event or anything where you can donate any of your free time to, you write that shit down. Like you almost want to go to like the food bank real quick and spend the weekend help boxing some food, so that way you can put that stuff on there. Here's an interesting conversation or a question. When you fill out application or like for scholarships and stuff, do you lean into your minority status? Like, do you apply for like more Pacific Islander, more Mexican, or more like Latino type scholarships that are offered specifically to those type of groups? Have you guys thought about some of those things?
I have thought about it. Yeah. I haven't.
You should.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of money for scholarships that goes to waste. And like there's so many scholarships for so many different things.
Yeah, even if they're like small number, they're like, oh, $100 or a couple hundred, like all that stuff adds up.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's like, oh, here's a $200 scholarship for whatever, and you're like, well, I don't really need to, but it's like towards books and everything else, and then like you get 5 of those, now you're already halfway. Now you got all your books covered. Dean, do you like identify as like the Pacific Islander aspect when you think about like school? Or
No.
You should. Because there's some weird statistics, and I could have looked it up and I didn't. There is a crazy amount, like Alice said, a crazy amount of money left on the table at the end of the year, because there's a bunch of things that a bunch of scholarships that people don't apply for because they forget to check the like I'm a minority box, and it's crazy how much money is just left out there. Alice, maybe you know. Can you apply for scholarship? How early can you apply for a scholarship for college? Like, does it have to be your senior year? Or can you do it like your junior or sophomore year?
There's some scholarships that you can apply to, I believe, during your junior year.
Mm-hmm.
And then most are like during your senior year, where you go ahead, if you're choosing to, you start college or trade school the next year.
Okay. There we go. Dean, we got another year before we have to start looking at those type of applications. What else? What are some of the things you're worried about, Dean, about? Because you don't need to think about it right this second because you're a freshman, but then at the same time, you're 2 months away from not being a freshman and being that much closer to where Alice is at, like 2 months away from like graduating. What are some of the things that you have questions about, and or are you like unsure of or nervous about when thinking about college?
I mean, there's a lot of things that I don't really know about like college or like scholarships or anything like that, because again, I haven't really like taken the time to really like learn or research about it. I'm not really like scared of anything, to be honest. Not everything, but I'm not really scared about college because it's something that I know will benefit the rest of my life, and it's something that I know I'll be proud of in the future, you know, just like saying, hey, I went to college, you know. But I mean, 2 months, just 2 months left until I'm not a freshman. So I'm definitely gonna start, like, maybe even after this, I'm gonna start looking into, stuff like that, and really just like decide, But other than that, I mean, I'm not really nervous about anything.
Here's a fun one. Alice, if Whimsy with a Z was going to offer assistance with preparing for college, sorry, you're not going to get a benefit from it. But what are some of the things that would be, do you think would be beneficial with next season when we start talking to Dean and we start talking to Mark and Pinky? Of what could Whimsy do to help offer to kind of help prepare you guys? Like, what are some of the things that I should be what should I keep bringing up, and what kind of resources should I start looking for to help these guys moving forward?
That's a good question. Let me think.
It is a good question because it does seem like a lot, and I totally get where you were your freshman year and where Dean is right now is his freshman year, but then I just can't get away from the idea like how fast your senior year comes up. Like, it is crazy. I mean, even at the beginning of the year when we started the podcast, like how much time, like how fast, because it was like Alice, you were like, I'm gonna get a job and the license and everything else, and like how fast we're at that point where you're like, I don't know if you're like, you didn't do those things like as fast as you thought you would, and then you're like, where did it all go? Have you considered taking a gap year? Either one of you? Like, I know you're not sure what you're going to do, but like, Dean, when you are a senior this year, you have a desire today to take that gap year where you're just like, I'm just going to experience life before I go next steps. Yeah, I think that's what they call it, right? Like, a
Yeah.
lot of kids take a year after high school before they go to college, and that's like when you, what's the cliche is you go backpacking through Europe. Like, I graduate high school on a backpack experience in life, and then I'll go to college. And then you got some people who are like, right after school, you go to college again. Dean's like, I didn't know I could take a year off.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, technically, after my senior year, I would be completely done with school if I didn't go to college. And I think just like that alone is like really rewarding. And when someone hears that you don't have to go to school like ever again, like, they're gonna like really enjoy and like live in that moment kind of. So I don't know, maybe a year. That sounds like a long time, but like it really isn't. I don't know.
It's weird. It's crazy how like it's coming up quick. Alice, tell you, yesterday she was a freshman. And then tomorrow you're going to be like, I'm done. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's too much. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
Do you wish you would have prepared better, Alice, like last year before?
Yeah, I do. But it's just, I just haven't been able to wrap my head around exactly what I want to do.
Okay. So is it one of those things where because you don't know what major you want to do, I'm not like you kind of just stop there, as opposed to like, I should have looked at, for example, like all your first year college classes are all your prerequisites anyway. So like conceptually, you could do your first year of college with zero idea of what you want to do. Is it like one of those things where you're like, because I didn't know, I didn't think, like I can't plan for anything if I don't know what it is? Like that kind of mentality?
Kinda, yeah. Because it's always the question like, oh, what do you want to do after high school? Or like those type of questions.
Mhm.
And I try thinking about it, but there's just so much that I don't know. Like I've thought about cosmetology, but what if that's really not the right thing for me to do? Like what if I could have done something better where it would what's the word? Like what if I could have done a career or a job or something like that better to where I guess the whole deal is having a better future for myself, a better life as an adult.
If you were to move forward as a sophomore with this idea of cosmetology and then you change your senior year, do you feel like you would have, like all that time was wasted? So that's why you guys are struggling to move forward, just because you're like, I don't want to move forward with something that's going to change, and then everything that I prepared for was a waste. Is that almost fair? But at least it got you thinking and moving, as opposed to like standstill. I don't know. It's a 100% valid response. To be fair, is you want to make sure you're making the right decisions. But the problem is sometimes we get stuck trying to find the right decision that you've made no progress towards an end game of any kind.
Right.
Like you could pit, like if you were to prepare something and change and pivot to something else, you would have had like that junior year and your senior year of something that you could use to help pivot, as opposed to we're getting out of school and I have nothing. Does that kind of make sense too? Dean, what are some of the things that you would want next year? We're going to do this again. What are some of the things I need to do in the summer to help you guys moving forward? So, like what kind of resources or what kind of guests? Like I can find a special guest. I can find somebody, like if I find a college recruiter and have them come on and answer some questions and stuff. What are some of the things that you would like next year moving forward that Whimsy with the Z can help prepare you for?
I'm not sure. The thing that you said about like the college recruiter or something like that, like bringing people on the podcast, I think that would be definitely a unique experience, because it would kind of be like, well, depending on how much people would be in the thing, kind of like a one-on-one session.
Mhm.
And, just really like, I guess, like receiving that information. I think that would be definitely cool to see in the future. I don't know.
All right, we can think about it. Because I think what's interesting is I appreciate the both of you for, I don't know if I even told you guys. So we're going to do this through the end of the school year. So we got 2 more months of this. During your summer, we won't record. We're just going to take a small break, let everybody just have a good time. And then when school starts up again, we'll start a season 2, basically. So, like, huge kudos to both of you and everybody else. I'll make sure I say thank you to them for coming on and sharing some of your experiences and your thoughts and helping me understand where you guys are at. And I think season 2 is going to be different. I want to say better because this is like OG stuff, but it'll be fun. Alice said you're coming back, right? Next year?
Yeah.
Whimsy with the Z, the first one out of school. You're like, Dean, you need to do all of this stuff today. I think that's what we didn't need to accomplish a lot today. I think part of it is getting the idea out there that it's really not too early to start thinking about next steps. And then kind of so that way you're not in any kind of position of like regret or like I wish I did more. Do you guys have any questions or any comments for each other or for me?
I mean, I guess I could say that really, like, if you do already have an idea of what you want to do after high school, then that's great. And if you don't exactly have an idea of what you want to do after high school, that's okay too. Because really, it's some people like make it sound like it's such a terrible thing that you don't know what you want to do, but it's not. Because literally, everybody doesn't know what to do for their future and what's going to happen in the future. So, like, it's okay.
Like, I'm curious to pull. There are statistics out there of how many people changed their major 2 years into college. So even 2 years into college, you still have no idea what the hell you want to do. You got anything, Dean? And I'm going to pick on you because you're the one that has the potential for the most influence moving forward. Like your sister too, but she's a little bit further behind. But like as a full college or high school person, like we get to track your whole progression forward. So it's interesting to see your journey of high school and preparing for everything. And then Alice, you're fantastic to be able to watch just your journey of you're almost done, and then what it looks like to be a quote unquote adult. It's going to be. I think the two of you guys are in that perfect sweet spot of like what's to come, and then the joy of like what's he going to do. Dean, I agree. You don't have to have an answer for everything right now, but they are important things to attempt to start thinking about and researching. And you don't have to have like when you research and you want to talk about them, they're not. You don't have to commit to anything. You just got to be like, hey, counselor person, what does a college application look like? That's almost a good place to start. It's like you don't even know what the hell the thing looks like. You look at this stupid thing and you're like, oh, it does ask for extracurriculars and do you donate time or some of those things, like your hobbies or whatever else. So yeah, get out there. And it's important, I think, just to keep the conversation at least close to the top of like just make sure it's there. Like you don't forget about it. All right. You guys are fantastic. Thank you. And I'll get another topic for you guys for next week. Did you guys like the two person? Like, was it clunky in any way? Like we're trying some stuff out here. Was today's conversation beneficial and enjoyable?
For me, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, okay. I think they do this in like workplaces. Dean, what was one takeaway that you took away from today?
Huh?
What is one takeaway from today's conversation that you're gonna remember and kind of like what's one thing that you were like, I like this, I'm going to keep it?
Just the information that you guys gave me. I mean, I think it's going to be very beneficial for me. Because I mean, I kind of just started high school. I think it's gonna be good for me to carry that with me whenever I'm like making choices. So.
Sure. Alice, do you have any takeaways?
I don't know. I just got to keep rolling, I guess.
I think you're going to do fantastic. I think you're going to be great. I'm curious to see your updates. Dean, I don't know. You might be a little bit behind on some of the episodes. If you haven't listened to Alice's last month, 100% go back and listen to it. It was fantastic. It kind of helps with this idea of like, I don't know what to do. Alice, I think what was brilliant last week was the idea of like there was an option that you never considered, and then you like highly considered it. So it is interesting. Dean, go back, listen to it. Alice's last month's episode. I think you might. One is enjoyable, and two, you might get something out of it to be like, oh my god, something random could happen, and that might completely change my entire direction. But thank you both for hanging out, and we'll see you guys next month. Whimsy.